Okay. Once again, good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you may be joining us in from. Today, welcome to the Training Transfer Effectiveness series, webinar series. Welcome. We're so glad to have you here. Welcome, Teresia. Welcome, Eunice. Welcome, everyone. So welcome. So glad you are here. So glad you are here. It's with all pleasure we welcome you. And please let us get to know you. Please let us get to know you wherever you're joining in from. So we just ask for only three things. Three things. Always ask for only three things. Your name, the country you're joining in from, and your role in your organization. Just that. Just three things. Your name, the country you're joining in from, and your role in your organization. And so as that continues, because I think I can see some new persons. And I see old persons. Eunice, I don't think Eunice is new. Steve and Teresia, I think they may be new people. I'm not so sure again. Stella was here last week, and I think Eunice was here last week too. So please just type into the chat box your name, the country you're joining in from, and your role in your organization. While we do that, let me just quickly introduce myself. So my name is Sandra Iheanacho. I'm known as the Oracle. I'm Africa's leading voice on training transfer effectiveness. And I'm introducing myself again because there are some newbies in our midst. If there are old bees, people that have been coming for a long time, I will just jump this slide. So because I can see new persons in our midst, that's why I'm on this slide. So I will briefly just introduce myself. I'm known as Africa's leading voice on training transfer effectiveness, meaning that I'm the voice crying out in Africa that let us see return on investment and return on expectations for all your training investments, not some, all of them. Welcome, Eunice Muriti, Kenya, HRO, welcome. Steve, HR assistant from Kenya, so welcome. So that is what I do, and that's what I've been doing in Africa, and that's what I'll be doing for the next 5 years till 2030. I'm an ex-banker. I'm the CEO of Brand Consulting Limited, the organization hosting this webinar. And I've been hosting this webinar since January January this year, sorry. Forgive me. Since January this year up till now. That's over 8 months. I'm an ex-banker. I'm a CEO. I'm a mother of 5 children, 3 boys and 2 lovely girls. I am an IFC Global Master Trainer. IFC stands for International Finance Corporation. It's a sister arm of the World Bank. And so I'm a Global Master Trainer. I help them to facilitate the face-to-face, which is we try to we do a certification called IFC LPI TPMA trainer certification, the TOT, train of the trainers, whereby we certify trainers globally that they have the right competences to train. So we teach them from training, your facilitator, as a trainer, you should facilitate, not lecture. So that's what I do with the IFC. I'm also a certified assessor with the LPI, the Learning Performance Institute. The LPI and the IFC came together and they formed this, they brought together, they designed the certification we do for trainers globally now. So with the IFC, with the LPI, I'm a certified assessor, I assess trainers globally. I'm a transfer enabler for Africa for the Institute for Transfer Effectiveness, which is the 12 levers. They do the 12 levers, which has to do with transfer, applying transfer. I'm high on transfer, and so I work with them. I'm Nigerian's first certified transfer designer. I'm a resource person in the Lagos Business School. I teach just leadership, and I've been there since 2018. I'm a certified transformational coach, a certified team and group coach, a certified Kirkpatrick professional bronze level. I just finished my silver level last month, and I've been a teacher and trainer for the past 26 years. These are the other certifications I hope to get. The first one this year, during our iTech conference, that's when I'll be certified on that. Then the second one next year. I usually say the moment when you stop learning, you start dying. And so even with every year, you can see 26 years I've been teaching and training, and yes, I'm still certifying myself and getting knowledge. So you keep learning. And this is what we usually put. We say difficult road leads to beautiful destination. Because those in Kenya, this is 925 for you. Those in Rwanda, this is 825 for you. Those in Ghana, this is 625 for you. And some of you are just coming back from work. And you are here because you want to learn. Those in Nigeria is 7:25 for you too. You are here because you want to learn, you want to improve yourself, you want to become better. That's why you're here. You're making that sacrifice. So that is a beautiful destination. And it's difficult in the sense that you could be rested. You should be rested. But you're here, you said you want to learn. Same thing with every one of us here. So congratulations on your beautiful destination that you're about to get. And because I know that after the webinar, people start running, start leaving, we decided 2 weeks ago to talk about what we do. This webinar we've been giving it for free. We've not collected a dime from anybody. For the past 8 months, every Thursday we are here. Even when we have just one person, 2 persons, we are here. Come rain, come sunshine, we are here. And so I'm going to share with you some of the things we are offering, that if you feel what we are giving you value to the webinar, because we have over 28 webinars on our YouTube channel. Please, Dr. Chinyere or Kamsi, any of you that is here, please put into our chat box our YouTube channel so they can go and watch the webinars. Over 28 webinars that have been teaching on showing return on investment and return on expectations for your trading. That's solely what we've been doing. And so I want to welcome you to the Mastermind Program Cohort 2. I'm pleased to have 2 of our Cohort 1 members. They are here. And if it is okay by them, during the Q&A, I will give them opportunity to share their experience. I hope I'm not putting you on the spot, and that's why I'm not calling your name. So if you feel that this is something you should do, we will be glad to give you the opportunity to. If not a problem. And so they know themselves, so I'm not going to call their name so that I don't put them on the spot. So if you just give me a second. Chinyere, I've just made you a co-host, so you'll be able to welcome other people.
All right.
Okay, so the Mastermind Program. So why join the Mastermind Program? The people in Cohort 1, it was an 18 weeks journey. We are on the 11th week. Next week, Tuesday, will be the 11th week. So we now reduced it to 14 weeks. So for those joining course, it's going to be a 14-week journey to transform your role from an HR or L&D order taker to what? A strategic business partner. What are the benefits of Mastermind? 1, you're going to be able to demonstrate ROI and ROE for your training, for every of your training. Secondly, you're going to be able to engage with stakeholders and build buy-in for your training initiatives. Thirdly, you're going to be able to position yourself as a strategic leader, not just a training facilitator for those who are trainers, and not just an order taker for those who are HR and L&D professionals in the organizations. Some of the key takeaways are you're going to align training with business outcomes. You're going to apply proven models and frameworks like the PDP model, the MVP model, the 12 levers of transfer effectiveness, the Kekbatu 4 levels of innovation. So these are proven models and frameworks you're going to be able to apply. You're going to also showcase training results that matter. Why are you going to choose this program? Because training is more than an event. It's the strategic tool for growth. And you're going to join a community that turns training into business success. So if you're ready to make an impact, send us an email at info@mbrandconsulting.com to join Cohort 2, and also you can call any of those numbers. This is when Cohort 2 starts. Cohort 2 starts October 6th to January 5th, 2026. Limited seats are available. It's all online. So for Cohort 3, Cohort 4, and Cohort 5, which will run throughout next year, when you visit our website, you'll see. However, Cohort 2 starts October 6th, which is next month. Then the second thing we want to share with you is our conference. It's called the International Training Transfer Effectiveness Conference. It is the first ever conference. Listen to what I'm saying. Read my lips. Hear what I'm saying. It is the first ever conference on training transfer effectiveness. A conference showing you ROI and ROE for training investment. That's never been done in Africa or globally, nowhere. So we are the first people bringing it global into the world, globally. And so it's a conference for you not to miss. It's hybrid. So it's going to be in Lagos, Nigeria, the Lagos Oriental Hotel, November 13 and 14. However, if you cannot come to Lagos, you can join us virtually. And guess how much it is? It is just $350. So you can scan this barcode immediately and register. Scan the barcode and register. We will be glad to see you, and you'll be glad to join the conference. And these are some of our speakers. We are getting confirmations from other speakers. We're going to have 22 speakers. These are the 12 that are confirmed, and we're going to have confirmation from other ones. And so as we get their confirmation, we have them. This is not a conference to miss. And what do you gain again from the conference, apart from the knowledge and everything you take away? We're going to be having exclusive discounted international certification. You saw me reading out all my certifications. I paid thousands of euros and dollars for those certifications. Even the silver is worth over $2,000. You can see that this is me improving myself to serve the community better, serve our clients better. But this is coming at a discounted rate. Now, the Certified Transfer Designer certification by the Institute for Transfer Effectiveness, it is going for just $1,550. If you go online, if you go to their website, you're going to see over 2,000 euros. But if you come for our conference, you're getting it at $1,550. The Kirkpatrick Professional Bronze Certification is over $2,000. Go on their website to see. However, for those coming for iTech, you're going to be getting it at $1,050. The Accelerated Learning Certification Workshop by the Center for Accelerated Learning is over $1,500. But if you're coming for iTech, you're getting it at $950. The IFCLP TPMA Trainer Certification, check it again. It's going for about $650 to $750. But because you're joining iTech, you're getting it at $550. And if you're going to do the 4, a combo, you're getting everything at $3,900. Do your math and see what you're getting. So these are things you shouldn't miss when you join the conference. That said, let us go straight. Who are those that were here last week? What practical tip did you carry out last week? I see you were here last week. Let me see the names of those that were last week. Oh, she's gone off again. I wanted to call her. Okay. Yes, Stella, you were here last week. I've seen your name. What practical tip did you carry out last week and this week? Is there anybody that wants to share with us? So this is a webinar for action, application. It doesn't make sense that you come to this webinar every week and you're not applying anything. I will tell you, don't come here because you're wasting your time, you're wasting your data, you're wasting my time too. So you should be able to apply, even if it's just one thing. Talking to somebody is application. Reading something on YouTube is application. Reading something on LinkedIn, watching our video, going to read the articles I've posted, that is something. But you must do something every week as a result of attending this webinar. Is there anybody that wants to share with us? While I read out the people we have Dina. Okay, Chinya has welcomed them. Okay. Teresa.
Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome, Teresa from Kenya. Okay, who is speaking? Please go ahead.
Okay, Stella.
Yeah, hi, Stella.
This is Stella.
Hi.
Hi, Sandra. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Just a quick one. I was here last week, and that was my first time to join. I didn't even know that you carried out this class. I recall you mentioning it somewhere in a webinar like that. So I just stumbled on it again. I decided to join that last week. But my action point for last week basically was when you mentioned the issue of tying each training to a business need. And I know generally that's one of the challenges we have, we in L&D. Most of the times you want to carry out a training, you want to close a gap, but the way you now broke it down to see why trainings should even happen or why it shouldn't happen. So that was an action point for me, which like this week we've been running training. So I've been using the why should this training happen? Who is it for? Are we really giving it to the right person? How is the transfer going to happen? So, and I'm still here again to continue my findings and what I need to apply in my daily activities on L&D. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Stella. Chinwe, please, can you give Stella a tada? And clap for her. Give her a tada and clap for her. Thank you so much, Stella. That's awesome. Well done. Well done. You're sincerely appreciated. Okay. Is there any other person that wants to share? Is there any other person that wants to share? If there's nobody, I will continue. I see something in the chat box. Let me see. Okay, so nobody. Let's continue. That's fine. It's fine. So today, so what we usually do again, what we also found out that most people, you can see it's only Stella that joined last week and that is here. Others that joined last week are not here. So we found out that from the survey we're taking, from the data, so you can see data works. The data we've been seeing from every week for the past 8 months, we've been seeing that every week you are getting new people, either one person, there's a new person. And so we decided that let us be reviewing the week before webinar, at least, because this is a build-up. If you did not attend last week, you may not be able to flow with the following week. So it's good for you to attend every week because we are building up. And so last week, what we looked at was return on expectation unveiled, from big expectations to measurable results. You just heard what Stella shared with us, right? You just heard what she shared with us. So we tried to see, and this was part 1. Part 2, last 2 weeks we did part 1. We brought those broad statements by management, by line managers, and we broke them. Line managers may say, we want our clients, we want our staff to be happy. What does that mean? And they want you to do a training that will ensure that staff are happy or ensure that staff are engaged. Now, broadly, what does staff engage mean? What are you going to be evaluating? What are you going to be measuring? So we looked at it last week and last week, and we broke it down. And so that was what we did. So I just want to share with you what return on expectations are. We said ROE is a measure used to determine the value of training by assessing the performance of learners against the predefined expectation. So management says we want our senior managers to be able to coach. What does that mean? You have to drill down. So what if there's something behind them saying that, or we want this company to be a place where people come in, they feel happy, they don't want to leave. Those are big and broad statements. What does that mean? So those are expectations. Okay, I can see Eunice is saying, please, can you hear me clearly? I see Eunice saying she's not hearing me clearly. Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you. I think it's a network.
Okay. Thank you so much, Eunice. Do you want to maybe try again, see if it's your network? So sorry. Maybe you could try again and see if you can still hear me. Okay. So let me continue. So that is what return on expectation is. So it has to do with the expectations of management. What does management want? And being able to define those things in measurable terms. And when you define it in measurable terms, you'll be able to measure it and you'll be able to evaluate it. If you don't define it, you cannot. Unlike ROI, which has to do with just financial. ROI is all about financial. So that is what ROE is. And we also said ROE demonstrates the degree to which training initiatives satisfy the expectation of key business stakeholders. Just what I said now. What are the expectations of key business stakeholders? If the training is able to achieve that, then in measurable terms, then we have our ROE, which also leads to ROI. Okay, so let's move on to what we have today. So for those that join us for the first time, we tell you your training transfer effectiveness journey begins. Then those that have been joining us, we say your training transfer effectiveness journey continues. For those that are joining us, that have been joining us. So today, what are we going to be looking at? This is what we're going to be looking at today. Winning stakeholders. I said last week that we're going to talk about this. I'm going to give you 3 strategies to win stakeholders. We talked about that. And I said, based on the conversations we had last, I felt, let me bring it and share with you and share my experience, because I just finished the silver certification. The knowledge I got, shared with you, right? And help you people too. So this is what we're looking at. How can we win stakeholders? What are those relationship building strategies we should use? Next week, we're going to look at the resistance strategies we should use to drive training impact. So this is what we're going to do this week and next week. So what will be our objectives today? Our objectives today is as follows. 1, at the end of this session, you should be able to identify the 3 proven strategies for building strong stakeholder relationships. This was what I learned from the Kirkpatrick Silver level, which I just finished, and I want to share with you, because these are things I knew. However, they put it in a structured way, and I was like, I need to share this with the community, which is each and every one of you. Then the second objective is, at least you should be able to apply at least one strategy in your current workplace in order to improve stakeholder engagement. And you will tell me which one you think you'll be able to apply when you go in from tomorrow when you get back to your organization. I said something on the chat. Okay, so let's move on. So how are we going to achieve today's objectives? Q&A to resolve uncertainties. Please ask your question. I need you to interact, just like what Stella has done now. Reflect and think of how you're going to apply what you're learning. Then, last but not the least, you're going to design your next line of action. Commit to forward move. And those are our objectives, our roadmap to achieving today's objectives. Another thing we decided to also talk about for the newbies we have. Do you have an idea what's the difference between training effectiveness, training transfer, and training transfer effectiveness? We also decided that every webinar we will talk about this, at least to give those newbies in our midst what it means. With that, they have a grounded and a knowledge of what we'll be talking about. Is there anybody that knows the difference between these 3 things? Training effectiveness, training transfer effectiveness. For the new ones. For the new ones, returns, are there the old ones here that wants to share with us? What is the difference between these 3 things? Let me know that if I've been really adding value or we've just been coming here. Is there anybody that wants to help? What's the difference between these 3 things? Who wants to help? Who wants to try? These people should not fall my hand. Who wants to try? For those that have been attending, what's the difference between training transfer effectiveness, and training effectiveness? Is there anybody? Nobody. Okay, I will carry my cross alone. Nobody wants to try. Okay, let me just quickly explain that. Now, there's a difference between training effectiveness, training transfer, and training transfer effectiveness. I'm going to be fast on that because of time. Now, training effectiveness is the extent or the degree to which your training is successful in producing the desired result. Simple. What, according to the 4 levels of Kirkpatrick, 4 levels of evaluation by Kirkpatrick, we call level 1 and level 2. If you don't know this, please go and read up on 4 levels of evaluation by Kirkpatrick. They are one of the godfathers of evaluation, and they are the ones that made me know about ROE. All my life, I never knew about ROE. I knew only of ROI. And I'm sure you agree with me, a lot of you don't know what ROE is. You're hearing it. Some people heard it for the first time in my webinar. So they are the ones that made me know there's something called ROE. And I researched and I found out I started using it. Now, so training effectiveness, for example, if in an organization, maybe you go for you send your staff for a customer service training, the front desk staff, and you tell the trainer, see, all these are employees. At the end of this session, this one-day training, they should not score anything less than 90%. And after the end of the training, the trainer did an evaluation and you had your staff scoring 92, 93, 95, 100. What would you say? You say that the training has been effective because the aim of the training was achieved. Again, if for instance, you tell the trainer that at the end of this training, they should be able to use the template we tell them, like, good morning, welcome to Brand Consulting Limited. How may I help? How may we help you? And everyone did it, and they did it very well. They followed that script, and they did it well. You say your training has been effective because your objectives, your learning objectives were achieved. That's what we call training effectiveness. Now, the next thing is training transfer. What is the meaning of training transfer? Now, training transfer is the extent to which those things you told them and they learned in the training room, they go back, either virtual training room or physical training room, they go back to the organization to apply. That is training transfer. They've been able to apply it. They've been able to apply that when when a client comes in, a customer service front desk person, you're able to greet, good morning, welcome to Brand Consulting Limited. How may we help you? And they were doing it 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they were doing it. They've applied it, training has been transferred. Now, is this going to give you the ROI and ROE you're looking for? It will not. Because, for instance, let's say the person was Sandra. Sandra did this for 4 weeks, and Sandra said, oh, I cannot continue. I'm tired. How may you help them? If they cannot tell me what they want, I will not help them. Am I a robot? And Sandra decides she's not going to say. What has happened? It is over. Will you see ROI, ROE? If she did it maybe 3 weeks, you may not see what you're looking for. Now, this is where I'm taking you people and where I've been taking everybody to. This is the bus stop. Training transfer effectiveness, TTE. Now, Sandra, before Sandra even comes for the training, if something has been done before, which is what, there are 3 phases of training. We call them pre-phase, during phase, and post-phase. At the pre-phase, everything that will happen before Sandra even attends the training will be planned. The structures will be put in place. After the training, structure will be put in place. And for us to make sure it continues to happen, we put things in place. That is what training transfer effectiveness is. What we want to see Sandra do when she gets back to the organization is going to be planned even before she goes for the training. Those behaviors we want her to apply is going to be planned even before she starts the training. So training transfer effectiveness is the extent to which the knowledge and the skills gained from training are consistently applied on the job in a way that leads to measurable performance, improvement, and business impact with intentional structures in place to sustain the application. Without structures put in place, you will not see ROI, and the people will get tired and they will not do it again. That is what TT is, training transfer effectiveness. In summary, this is what it is. Training effectiveness measures the learning and engagement. Training transfer measures the application of the job. Training transfer effectiveness measures the sustained performance and business impact. That is what the business wants to know. They don't want to know, are people happy? If they're happy, where is the numbers? Did the numbers change? Did the needle move? What outcome have we got? What returns have we got? That's what the business is interested in. And so this is TTE. They learn. Let me use my laser. They learn, they apply, performance improves, business has an impact. They learn, they apply, performance improves, there's an impact on the business, which is what we call sustainable improvement. And so for those that don't know what TTE is, this is what TTE is. Now we move on to what we have for today, relationship building strategies. Let me ask, what is your toughest challenge with stakeholders? I say stakeholders, I mean executives, I mean line managers, I mean those that are coming to meet you, training sponsors for training. What is your toughest challenge with them? Who wants to share? You can type into chat or you can unmute your microphone and speak. I'll be looking at the chat box. Who wants to share? Stella, thank you so much. Stella, please share with us.
Okay, so my Challenge mostly is on the line managers. I have come to yes, yes. I also believe you could relate to what I want to say. Basically, after appraisals in the year, they expect you to deduce their training needs from the appraisals. Then you now find a line manager who you just want to say, Stella, my staff need this training. Why does the staff need the training? What was the challenge? What's the gap you discover? To what extent is this gap? So at times you want to go deeper to not kind of query, but to help them come up with exactly what they are looking for, which will also enable you to profile the right, solution to the problem they have. They'll not be like, that is the training that he needs to do. In fact, he says that so colleague of his is doing it. This is a practical challenge I used to have with them. I said, okay, fine. If the colleague so place is doing it, does this have any relation with the job he's currently doing for you? Okay, fine. If it's related to the job he's currently doing for you, please, I would like to find out to what extent from what you have known from A to B to Z or to 1 to 5, how can you rate this particular staff in terms of this training you are asking me to come and deploy? Most times they will even tell you, this is the person that will do the training. This is a consultant that want to come and handle this training. How do you know that this consultant will be the person that will want? Okay, what if I tell you it's a coaching problem? It's not even a classroom training stuff. So these are basically some challenges you have with them. And most time, why I like this class, honestly, is that when you mentioned about stakeholders last week, I am interested to know, because most times you have to really understand the mechanism to use. I think I'm using the right word. So that they will not see you like oversabi L&D person. And also probably the management will not be looking at, okay, now they want to sap money again, looking at a way to make money and all that. But I'm here to really understand the mechanisms you can use when you are tying the needs of the line manager. At times you want to help them so that management will even understand their need and how to ensure that they buy in having such trainings. So these are basically the challenges I have. Basically, the line managers, most of them, they have challenge in breaking down why they need some trainings for their staff, even for themselves too. It does happen. I'll stop for now here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Stella. I love that you're very practical and very vulnerable. I sincerely appreciate you. Just you joining last week has made this webinar a difference. Thank you so much. If you, I tell people in this webinar that if it's okay for me to be hard. Now, when you were speaking, there's a loophole I saw in what you said. So let me ask other people. Let me see if they saw it. Then if not, then I will share with you. Is there anyone that saw anything in all Stella was saying? Did you see anything? Was there any loophole you saw from what she was saying? If not, or do you want to? Okay, let's finish with what Stella shared before we ask for any other contribution. Is there anybody? Nobody. Okay, let me see. Stella, you're the one that thinks that you want to help them. The line managers have not seen that you want to help them. And in everything you said, I really understood what you said, because I'm HR, I'm L&D. And I saw that really you want to help them. But if I'm the line manager, I do not see what you're saying. You have, which is one of the strategies you're going to learn now. You did not speak the business language. We're talking like an L&D person, HR person. That's how you just spoke to him. And that's why they will always ask. So that is one of the strategies I want to teach you people. When you want to engage, build strategies with line manager. And I know that they are the pain in the neck. So even in our conference, We have a panel session that is just for line managers. Line managers, they are going to be on the panel session, and we are going to fire them questions. So you need to ensure that they see that they're on their side. I tell people, you do something, you say, I'm trying to help them to improve. That is you. That is what you think. People do not know what is in your mind. It is how what you've done affects them. That is how they are able to showcase it. So that is why you now need to go to their own side. It's just like, I'm sure you all know this assignment, this thing. Oh, I would have loved to. Okay, everyone, wherever you are, please take a piece of paper. I don't want to stop my screen. If not, I would have used the annotate and keep it there. But let's do this without stopping my screen. Take a piece of paper, take your biro, write the number 3. Bold. Write the number 3 boldly. Write the number 3 boldly. I'm sure you've done this exercise before, but for those that have not done it, if you've done it, just humor me. Write the number 3. Now, put it on the table wherever you are. Look at it from where you're standing. It is 3, right? What you're seeing is 3. Now, I want you to stand up and go and look at it from the other side of it, which is the left side of it. What will you be saying? Is there anybody that wants to share with us? From the
I'm
left,
seeing E.
you're seeing E. Okay. Go to the right side of it. What are you seeing?
M.
Good. Now go to the opposite side of it. What are you seeing?
W.
Thank you so much, Stella, for joining me in this role play. Why did I do that? You might be on your own side and be saying, I am seeing 3, I am seeing E, but the person is on the other side. The person is seeing is M or W. The person is not seeing what you're seeing. And so for you to be able to hear for you to be able to help the person, you need to go over to that person's side to see what the person is seeing. That is where you'll be able to help the person. And so those are the strategies we're going to do. Just 3 strategies. Just 3 of them. Is there anybody that wants to share with us again? What is your toughest challenge with stakeholders? What is your toughest challenge with stakeholders? Is there any other person? If there's no person, I can now continue. What is your toughest challenge with stakeholders? You need to be HR, you need to stop don't be on the fence. You need to build a bridge and cross over to where they are. HR, you're on your own. And L&D, you're on your own. You cannot be on your own. If you want to make an impact, you need to build a bridge and go to the other side of line managers and see what they are saying. So if there's nobody, let me continue. But before I continue, I want to ask a question. If your CEO asked you today, what are the 3 top strategic objectives we have as a business? Will you be able to answer it without saying, thinking? Is there anybody? Will you be able, is there anybody bold enough to answer me? Or give it to me now? What are the 3 top strategic objectives of your organization? Can you say it without hesitation? Can you name it? Number 1, this is what it is. 2, this is what it is. 3, this is what it is. Is there anybody? You must not say it. You can raise up your hand or type into chat. I will not call out your name. If you don't want your name to be called out, you want your name to follow, that's fine. I can't see any hand up, meaning that people don't know. So you can see that you have already started, you've already started failing already and digging a hole. I found out that HR and L&D, a lot of them do not know anything about the business. What people tend to speak is HR jargon, L&D jargon. You have to stop that. And that's what I've been going around Africa saying, stop HR and L&D jargon. You want to have a seat at the table, then be strategic. Speak the business. That is how you get a seat at the table. If not, you will never get a seat at the table. If by chance you get a seat at the table, they will break that seat for you. Or if you want to sit down, they will remove the seat and you will fall down. So let's move ahead. So let's look at the 3 strategies. We are going to finish it. Let me try to be faster. 1, be an expert in the business. I've already asked you what are your 3 top strategic objectives as a business. Some of you do not understand. Some of you may do not even know it. Then how do you want to help the business? You just want to be saying, we are training, we trained 50 people. They are happy now. We train all happy shit and smiley shit. No, more than that now. L&D, you're more than that. HR, you're more than that. You must be an expert in the business. You must be an expert in. So what I want to do for you today, which you will be thanking me after this class. What I want to do for you today is I want to take you behind the scenes, right? I want to take you into something I've seen. I said I've been consulting and training for the past, so I've been training for the past 26 years, both formally and informally. I've been consulting with businesses, both micro, small, medium, large. All of them I've dealt with them. So I want to take you behind the scenes to show you what makes and breaks training success. And it is stakeholders. If you are not on the same page with stakeholders, that training nothing will happen. Because they are the ones that will give you the data you want. I hope you know that. It's not their business improving training. They'll feel that it's not their business. HR, that's your problem. It's not my business. That's your KPI to prove ROI and ROE. That's what they will say. However, you know that it's not the same. It is everyone's business to prove ROI and ROE of it. Until they get to that place where they know that it is everybody's business, they will still see you as it is your problem, it's your KPI. So it is stakeholders that make or break a training success. So training is not just about, which is what I've been saying since, it's not just about the content. Training is not just about facilitators. Training is about the relationships you build with those who I call training sponsors, those who will support the training to ensure that it succeeds, those who ensure that, like the line managers, they are very, very key to your training success. Those who even resist the program, you need to bring them. These are stakeholders. Hope you know that there are some people that are waiting for you to bring one training and they will shoot it down. These are people that resist the program. They are stakeholders that you must be able to convey. And so during my Kirkpatrick Silver certification, I got these 3 strategies. Even though I had an idea about it, but Kirkpatrick put it in a wonderful way. So if you want to do the Kirkpatrick Silver certification, please do it. But of course, you have to do bronze first before you do silver. It's wonderful. It's awesome. So I learned these practical strategies for building strong relationships and also for dealing with resistant stakeholders, which is what I'm going to talk about next week. So that is what I just want to share with you today. So now let's look at the first one. Be an expert in the business. This is not theory. I hope you know that. I'm not talking theory. For those that know me, I don't talk theory. I'm very practical because we've seen this work. This is after years of research. We've seen it work. Kirkpatrick has done it. They've seen it work. Even I've seen it work. Just like they did not have a name like they did, a structure like they did. Be an expert in the business. What does that mean? HR and L&D, even the training professionals, you lose credibility. Because the only thing you do talk is learning jargon. It's only learning you know. You do not know about the business. The objectives of the business you do not know. Even the department that is reaching out to you do not even know. At least try. I'm not saying you should know all the objectives of the whole department in the organization. You cannot. It's too much. Especially an organization you have like 8,000 staff and you have like 40 departments. Where do you want to start? Those that are coming to meet you, at least have an idea. So for you to earn trust, you must know the business. You must know the metrics. You must know the pain points. You must know the strategy. That is the only way you earn trust. You must know the business, your organization, the business they are doing, you must know it. I'm going to give you a clear example. This one is a live and direct example. An L&D manager walked into a sales review meeting. And as they were talking about the review, he was saying that they were learning hours, that his sales team was able to complete the learning hours. Let me ask you, what do you think the sales manager will say to this L&D manager? Let's make it very practical. God, sir, this really happened. What do you think he will say? Let me ask the question again. They were having a sales review meeting, and these are his employees, his staff. The HR and the L&D has already sent them on that training. And he came in with his report and said, they were able to complete over 50 learning hours What do you think the sales manager will say to the L&D person? The head of sales, what will he say? Who wants to try? Let's talk. Let's make this. We are doing practical. Who wants to talk? What will he say? Is there anybody that wants to try?
And there might be so many thoughts on his mind, but one, I think that would be obvious to be how the training impacted or the training effectiveness on the sales team.
Beautiful.
How they've been able to.
Beautiful. You said it all, but let me tell you how, first of all, what he thought. He was like, what did the HR L&D person use? Is this not L&D jargon? What is
Yes.
sales, the head of sales? What is his business with learning hours completed? What is his business with that? Hey, HR and L&D, you should not allow me to bring Koboko. What is his business with this one? How does that add to his numbers? They completed 100 hours. What does that mean, please? What does that mean in numbers? Let me show you what happened now. Because this is real and direct. This was what happened. The head of sales dismissed her. Before she finished talking, she said, hey, people have come again, HR, L&D, you come again with all this. What do you mean by that? How does that help me to meet my target? Do you know that this year I have a billion naira? That's my target. $1 billion, that's my target. Excuse me. And that is what they've been doing to you people. How many of you are in that boat? That's what they've been doing to you. You go for business meetings, sales. You're going to talk about learning hours completed. What's that? See what now happened? The L&D manager learned. You know, you learn your lesson. Sometimes we learn our lessons very hard, the hard way. Because she was so embarrassed, very embarrassed in that distance. See what now happened? The following quarter, she returned and see what she said. She said, your sales staff who attended the training, as a result of that training they attended, they were able to close 15% more of the deals. What do you think will happen? So Stella, you're the one to answer the first question. Do you want to answer the second one now? You see the next thing. What do you think? What do you think the head of this?
Their ears will go up. They want to hear more. He's speaking business now.
You see? Their ears, you got it very well, Stella. You used it better than me. Their ears will go up. Wow.
I had the experience. Share it. I had the experience.
Please share. Just quickly share. Then I'll continue.
So I used to when I started joining management monthly operation review. So one of the days I now noticed they wanted to have HRs. HR wasn't coming for presentation. So I was curious because I was participating in a project. So I now noticed that every department will come to make presentation except my department. So I was not telling my HR, nah, it is wrong. That was supposed to be letting them know in the review, we should have a presentation to do. It was like, what are we going to present? So the first time we came with what we said, just man hours. We're able to make this man hours. Everybody's just like looking at you. What is she talking about? So we now went back. Can you still hear me? So
I can hear you. I'm laughing.
So the next time I went back, I was asking myself, I said, data analytics, what did I even press? What do we even have there? I could see everybody's like walking away. So I now changed it. I said, fine. For each department we deploy training, there's an expectation from them, just like what you have shared here now. So we started giving them data, even participation. This training you requested that we do. This is the number of persons who attended, and this is the percentage, and this is what they have been able to achieve. They began to listen. That was when they will not demand, I hope you are bringing information for all the departments and their participation and how effectiveness, impact it has made. That was how I now became myself. Also, I was curious again now to start coming because one assignment I now gave to myself. So we started participating. So I have an idea of what we are discussing.
Thank you so much, Stella. I told you this webinar is not theoretical webinar, it's application webinar. Everything I'm saying, one person that happened to you people. because these things are practical. We've seen it. I see it happen. It's happening live and direct. Things will change, and I'm so happy Stella is on the course, and she gave exactly what I said is what that happened to her. And so, for you to build relationship, for you to be an expert in the business, you must build relationship. You must establish trust. You must listen. You must connect. What happened after she said that? The conversation shifted, which is what same thing happened to Stella. The conversation will shift. One strategy, be an expert in the business. Go and learn the business. Be an expert in the business. Let's go to the second strategy. The second strategy is seek to understand. Seek to understand. What do I mean by seek to understand? Seek to understand. A lot of HR, you just jump into conclusion. They tell you want leadership training. Maybe you start sourcing for the vendor that will do the leadership training. Just like that, without asking any question. Without trying to know why they want a leadership training. Without trying to identify what is the root issue. Just some of the things Stella said. Without trying to, what's the alignment with what they are seeking with the business. Because if you've been able to pick be an expert in this business, be an expert, understand the business first. When you're seeking to understand, they will listen to you. When you're asking them this question, they will listen to you because they know this person knows what this HR person is different, and the person is different. Don't jump to solutions. Ask questions. Ask questions to uncover what is the real issue stakeholders are facing. What is their real issue? Your curiosity will end trust because they will say that yes, the person is thinking about us. It's not just coming to tell us HR and L&D jargon. How can you do this? Listen to them. Listen. As you listen, ask questions. Must know the kind of ask performance consulting questions. If you've never heard of that, at HR and L&D, I hope you know your new name. Your new name is learning performance. Learning and performance, not L&D even. Some people have changed L&D to learning and performance. You are performance consultant. You ask questions that have to do with performance, not HR and L&D jargon questions. As you ask questions, you summarize what you're hearing from them. Now let me give you another example. A sponsor says we need leadership training. Instead of saying looking for the vendors that will do the leadership training, what should you do? Ask questions. When you say leadership training, what does the success of that leadership look to you? What problems are you currently experiencing? What might a successful leader look like? Ask questions. What are the consequences if this leadership training you're asking for us to do, if it's not successful? What are the needs or what are the problems? What are the opportunities that you hope that this leadership training will be able to solve? What business need will this leadership training solve? These are questions you should be answering. And it's very possible from your questions, these are some of the things you may find out. They might start telling you, leaders, they don't give feedback. Okay, for those of us that we've been doing ROE, turning vague conversations to measurable. I'm sure you will get to know what I'm saying because I talked about it then. You might find that they say leaders don't give feedback, they don't motivate and all that. You'll be able to get and be able to define it into measurable. Seek to understand. Then the last but not the least strategy is pick the business language. Before I continue with this, let me ask, when it comes to the training terms, what is that training? What is one training term usually you want to turn into business language? Or maybe think about it when I'm talking about that. You tell me, what one training term do you use most often that you can reframe and turn it into the business language? Speak the business language. The stakeholders don't care about levels. They don't care about the modules. They don't care about they were able to get 50 staff to finish the modules we gave them. They don't care about all those things. They care about results in their own language. They care about sales. They care about customer satisfaction, reduce cost, increase revenue. That is what they care about. Let me give you another example. For those of us that know the 4 levels of Kirkpatrick, level 3 has to do with behaviors. So instead of saying our level 3 results show high transfer, what does that mean? You're talking L&D jargon again. Rather, you say what? Customer complaints dropped by 25% in 3 months. That is what the result is. Not our level 3 results show us high transfer. What does high transfer mean? That people applied the things they learned. So if you're saying people apply the things they learned, tell us what the bottom line does. Is it? So now, because they applied what they learned, they were able to do what? Customer complaints dropped from 25 to 25%, dropped by 25% in 3 months. Instead of saying Module 4 covers feedback, what does that mean? The Module 4 we told them cover feedback. What is that? That's jargon, L&D jargon. Why don't you say managers will learn to reduce performance escalation by 50%? With that, they will understand what you're saying. They will key to what you're saying than saying Module 4 will cover feedback. And so what? If it covers feedback, so what will happen? These are. So before I continue, I think, what's the time? What is one word, one training term you often use want to change into business language? What? Just one. Is there anybody that wants to share? What training term, from what I've said now, speak the business language. Turn those HR and L&D jargon into business language. Is there anybody that wants to share with us? What one training term do you often use that you can reframe into business language? I'm free examples. Okay, I see something in the chat box. Exactly. Brag of financial literacy, what does that mean? I like that. Financial literacy, so what? So how do you want to turn that financial literacy into the business language? Do you want to help us to type it? How do you want to turn that financial literacy into a business language? Is there any other person? While we're waiting for Brago to turn that for us.
I can give an example. So
okay.
Recently we had taking us through finance or non-finance. What they done, they were supposed to help us understand, from gross margin, and net profit, EBITDA, debit, and all that, and where the various costs we incur, where it takes from overhead, or let's say from salaries to wages to manageables. Manageables in our context is more of the training, we organize and all that, where all those costs, where they sit, and how they finally contribute to the final figure we talk about. So to your point, for you to speak the business sense or make meaning or have meaningful conversations with leaders, once you know where it sits and how it contributes to the bigger picture, when you are making presentation, probably as we speak now, we are in our budgeting period, so we are talking about increase in salaries, the kind of budget we need to set aside. Same for manageables, we take the trainings and all the other capability building actions or initiatives we'll be deploying. Putting all that together, you're asking yourself, what is the percentage of it to the net profit, which is more of the target or the projected net profit the business is considering for the period. So you need to take all that into consideration when you are having this kind of conversation with your business leaders, because that is, they understand more of the numbers, but you and the back end also understand the kind of impact these initiatives will make to the business or to employees as a whole. So that is more of an example I can give to provide more clarity in relation to financial literacy.
Thank you so much, Brago. You are just on point. Thank you so much. You can see I hope you heard what she said. From jargon of financial literacy, what does that mean? she was able to break that down, as in speak in their terms. And that's what I'm saying. Speak the business language. Fine, you will know what you're talking about, but they may not know what you're saying, as in they will not align with you. Speak the business language. Now I'm going to share something briefly before we wrap up. Years ago, that was when I knew that I had to speak the business language. Years ago. Guess what I did? I had to get a finance coach. Yeah? I got a finance coach that I paid. Hope you're hearing me. I got a finance coach that I paid. I was paying the finance coach every hour. Every hour he comes to my place to teach me. We're doing balance sheet. We're doing, as in serious finance. Oh, I said I needed to understand how to speak the business language. So those are the sacrifices you make. Those are the sacrifices you have to go out to do. Thank you once again, Brandon. Okay, so as we are wrapping up, what are the questions you may have for me at this point in time? What are the questions we have? Okay, I see Stella hand. Stella, please unmute your microphone.
Thank you so much, Sandra, for today's session. I know that another stakeholder we have are the participants themselves, right? So for me, there's this challenge I have. I understand the business. I understand to where their eyes or what their expectations are, right? But the present challenge I have is that I don't know, I stand to be corrected. There are some trainings that you may not need to start providing tea break, lunch break, all that. You should have an idea of what I want to ask. Now, I would like to know, because it's another challenge that we face as L&D. You want to use this stuff as bets to have people come to earn, invest in themselves. That's the word I usually use. You are investing in yourself by learning. So my question would be, since you are looking at building relationship with stakeholders, how well could one build relationship with part of these stakeholders, which happen to be the participants? Because I've noticed that most times you have some key trainings that they need to do, and you're looking at some hours and what is required of them or for you to provide. And they are now looking at, if it's a bet, it has to be in a so place so that we can earn this from management, so that we can earn that from management. I don't know whether you understand my question.
Yes.
What would be your advice? Because we're still looking at helping the business grow. At the same time, we're also looking at the, HR. You are for staff, you are for the employee, you are for the employer, you are standing in between, you are wearing different caps. So now I'm also looking at this side. They are also part of my stakeholders, and how do I manage them to ensure they participate, and I get, at the end of the day, the business is getting back what they have invested in the training. I hope my question is clear.
Yes, it's very clear. Okay, I will just tell you to, I'm sure if there's somebody that's been attending this webinar, they will be able to answer what you just said, because we've talked about this. So I'll implore you to just try. It's going to take you time. We have over 26 videos on our YouTube. It's going to take you time. Go and start from the very first video. It will help you. Now, to answer you, why some of these employees may be feeling like this and speaking like this is because you have not, they don't see any value. They have not seen that this is important for them. Now, we find out that when a training is coming, so there are 6 people that can make training one. We call it the TTE ecosystem. The first is executive management. The second is the trainees themselves, the employees that are going for the training. The third is the line manager. The fourth is the trainers. The 5th is the HR and L&D, and the 6th is the workplace. Now, the conversation that should be had even before you start thinking is between all of you. You're asking the HR, maybe it came out from performance appraisal, and the line manager says, we want this person to go for this training. Or maybe it's HR that saw and saying, we need these people in this kind of training. Have you had that conversation with the line managers and even with the people? Let them see what is it in for them, what's the why thing for them. But everybody, you must be able to show a why first. What is it in for them? They've not seen what is in for them. That's why they'll be negotiating like that. If they've seen what it is in for them, nobody will tell them to do the training. So it is a process. If people have not seen why, you've seen a reason. That is why you are here, Stella. You've seen what it is in for you, the value you're going to get in this webinar. That is why you are here. There are people that join this webinar from Kenya that they've seen what it is in for them. So what you need to do is to show them what is in for them. You cannot, people that will tell you, I want this place, I want training in this place, I want this training in that place. They've not seen what is in for them. They feel they are doing you a favor. They feel they are doing you a favor. And are they really doing you a favor? Just like you said, they are investing in themselves. But as they leave that business, they leave the organization, they are living with all those things they've learned. Keep it with that. So you need to intentionally start having that conversation with everybody. The trainees must have, you must have the conversation with them. Why do you think we want you to go on this training? But do you know why we wouldn't want you to go on this training? What value will they add to them? And you must trace the value not just for the organization, not just for the business. The value must also be traced for them themselves. What is the value for them? If they don't see the value for them, they will not. They will be giving you story. I don't know if that helps them.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay, so we're wrapping up. We have just 3 minutes to go. What did you say,
I'll still look out for your YouTube.
Okay, please.
I'll still look out for you. Yes.
Yes, please. I think my colleague has put it on the chat box. Yes, she has put it on the chat box. So please
Okay.
look at it. Take it. Okay, I see.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Benedict, I see your hands up. Please unmute your microphone. Yeah, Benedict, over to you. Or was that a mistake? Yes. No, you can speak, please.
Hello. Sorry, it wasn't a mistake, so I don't know what happened to my mic. It wasn't responding initially. Yes. Good evening, everyone. Well, this is my first time on this webinar, but I'm one of the people, one of the participants on the mastermind program in the last 10 weeks. And if I want to speak now, I'll really spend more than the required time. I just want to say that thank you, Stella, for all you have shared. I've intentionally kept quiet because I wanted to listen and see how it goes here on this webinar. I tell you, on the mastermind is quite different. You just have to speak because Sandra will not continue unless you speak. And like you said, it's a practical example. She will just keep quiet and tell us, I'm giving you people 5 minutes. So yeah, start to talk. Then you will speak. I want to especially speak to those of us here that are L&D specialists or practitioners. If you're an L&D practitioner and you want to create your niche in L&D, please attend the mastermind program. Unless you just want to be the HR generalist or you don't want to specialize in L&D, if you want to build your career in L&D, please attend the mastermind program. It will help you a lot. First, it will help you to discover yourself. You see this question that Sandra asked about knowing the business, being expert in business, knowing the business. Unfortunately, we HR are just too busy with HR things. And more, I've noticed every HR forum I attend, The narrative is the same. Everything that Stella said is what I hear everywhere. I tell the webinar, conferences. We are beginning to irritate the other eco people in the ecosystem because we don't speak the business language, because we don't even understand the business. We'll just come, as Sandra will say, speak our HR jargon. And these days now, I'm seeing from all quarters that they're not even listening to us. You send them email, they will not even respond to your email because they are not seeing signs that we even understand the business. So if Sandra did not ask, I will promote the mastermind program. If you want to go beyond, because when she mentioned that she's having this webinar, and I'm like, Sandra, we are paying here this kind of dollars money, and you are there doing the free webinar. And she tried to explain the difference. I said, okay, I'll come to this webinar and come and hear and see what you are doing. And for people not to be but I was like, oh, only 10? I expect to see like 1,000 HR, because she said she's a lone voice. Actually, she's a lone voice. For those of us here, I want to encourage us, please don't miss this webinar just once in a week. She said difficult roads leads to beautiful sorry, I forgot the last part of it. It really does. Destinations, yes. Unless you don't want to build a career in L&D, where it's okay to pop in now and then. But then even popping in now and then without wanting to build a career, I tell you, you will learn a whole lot and you will challenge yourself. The first thing is, please let us know the business. Let us really, really have understanding of what is the business. What is the strategy? What is the focus? I also had that experience Stella shared. I had mine like 4 or 5 years ago. I was even still sharing it with my junior colleague today and said, see this report that you're doing every month, that you just come and say 10 people training. I said, when I went to management board to make a presentation from when I was still very young in L&D, after I told them that we have trained 10 people and we did 20 training, they were looking at me. Say, well, this is your... So I really understand it, and that is just the truth. And until HR L&D begin to speak the business language, they will not listen to us. They will not take us seriously. So please, if you want to grow your career in L&D, please, if you have to save by yourself, attend the mastermind program. In fact, I've already told Sandra, you're going to hire me, because I want to join your voice. At least let me start my own in Nigeria. So, because by the time other people are beginning to realize this, we will have gone far, and they'll be seeking for us. They'll be looking for us. Somebody was talking about this in somewhere. Where is this person? So please, let's take this seriously. L&D, especially HR as a whole. You will not regret you did. I'm not regretting, because I'm not somebody that's giving to lip service. Sandra breaks it down. She doesn't just come and be talking big jargon. She will start with all her plenty. When she's saying all those her first slide of all her certifications, I'll just start slipping off. Let's just get to the real thing. But then when she starts, you will know that this is what she does. Because when you go back, she will always say that, please, this thing that we have learned, now go back. In my place of work now, my conversation has changed. Even I'm just begging my colleague that's working with me, please stay with me. I'll tell her, stay with me. Each time I go back, we'll do KSS. I'll share with her, this is what I learned this week. Stay with me on this thing. If not, I don't want to lose you. I want you to go along with me. It might be tough at the beginning. That I'm also looking forward to the resistance, as we have done the first part now. There will be resistance, but let's not be discouraged, because we have to go and get to where we are supposed to be. We are not there yet. HR is not there yet. And they just can't put us there just like that because we are HR. We have to earn it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Benedicta. I sincerely appreciate you. Thank you so much. I think Benedicta has said all has to be said. You've just blown my trumpet, Benedicta. Thank you so much. But I know that you're saying what it is. And really, this is what it is. Okay, so let's move ahead. We're wrapping up now. Action plan. You have to try one practical tip from now until we meet next week. and share your experience with us next Thursday. We are all about application. Everything we taught today, you must do one thing. Think of them. We talked about 3 strategies, right? Be an expert in the business. Francesca spoke a whole lot about it. Even Stella talked about it. Then Bragos also spoke about it. Seek to understand, listen, question, ask questions, performance consulting questions. Then from there, summarize what from the questions you're asking them, summarize. Ensure you do that. Then we talked about speak the business language. Forget that HR and L&D jargon. You can invite somebody, that is something you've done. Go and watch the YouTube video, that is something you've done. Go on LinkedIn, follow us, follow our company, follow me on LinkedIn. That's something you've done. You must do something. Then lastly, do you want help? We are here to help you. I'm here to help you. In conclusion, let us talk about how we can help you build or repair your ecosystem. You had the 6 ecosystem, people that make up the ecosystem I listed. Let us talk about how to help you. Join our mastermind program called starting Monday, October 6th. Invite me to speak with your leadership. I'll be happy to do that. Reach out to me. Reach out to our business. Let us stop training for the sake of training. Let us build for transfer. Let us build for transformation. And I always say, old ways won't open new doors. Every impact-driven training starts with a bold conversation. Are you ready to start that conversation? Are you ready to start that conversation? And on this note, stakeholders' trust is not earned by presenting training plans. It is not earned it is only earned when you know their business, listen to their needs, and speak their language. And that's a quote by me, Sandra the Oracle, Africa's leading voice on training transfer effect. And finally, I want to say, be happy and feel good about yourself always. And you can connect with me on LinkedIn, IG, X, and this is my personal email address, and that's our company email address. Thank you so much, everyone. And if there are no more questions, we look forward to seeing you same time again next week, Thursday. So sorry we spent extra 7 minutes. Apologies. Look forward to seeing you again same time next week, Thursday. Have a beautiful night rest. Have a wonderful day. Good night, everyone. Thank you.